right. So we did a live right after we saw it. We did a spoiler-free discussion. So now we're gonna do a spoiler discussion so we can actually talk about the movie. So where do you guys want to start? You want to start with go to the end and start with the twist?
Yeah, the reason why most of us hated this, I don't want to say hated. I don't hate the movie. I didn't care for the twist.
Yeah, I didn't hate it either. And I wasn't disappointed. I just wasn't crazy about it.
Yeah.
Because the movie itself, I didn't care for. And then the twist just made me like, okay, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, because I liked the movie, and then it, like I said, if that twist fell how it was supposed to fall, then it would have been complete. But for the fact that they didn't do that, I was just like, ah.
So yeah, let's talk about the twist. Let's talk about like what you guys thought would have been better, because I was still trying to figure out what you guys mean by like what you thought the movie was going towards.
So everybody was connected to somebody, like some type of relation, up until the twist, and you're like, oh shit, who are they related to? We're not related to anybody. We just like,
yeah.
like what the
We're just clout chasing.
yeah.
Yeah. Were you thinking like it would have been better if what's it called? Were the killers Randy's niece and nephew?
No, well, that's what Tasha wanted.
That's what I wanted.
I didn't necessarily want that. Like I said, I predicted one of the killers at least. I wanted them to be connected to like Stu or somebody, especially because they were in Stu's house. It's like, why not make them related to Stu?
I thought it was going to be like the families of victims in the past were killing people that were related to the killers in the past. That's what I thought they were going for.
That would have been a good angle too.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was too, was that whoever the killer was taking out descendants of the killers from the past movies. That's what I thought. Well, no, I wanted it to be the twins because their uncle was killed by Billy Loomis's mom, but still like a connection to Billy Loomis. And so Billy Loomis has a child. So I thought that's where I was hoping it was going to go. And then when it went where it went, I was like, really?
But you know what? For a minute, because you said that while we were watching it, you were like, it's the twins. And then for a second, I felt like that. I was like, shit. I told Katrina, I was like, I think Tasha's right. I think it is the twins. But I wasn't mad that because they kept lingering on like it could be them. I wasn't mad that it wasn't them. I'm just mad that the killers weren't actually connected to anybody, really. That's what I was saying. Like, it's like they basically did what was it, part 3? No, which one was it when they're like, we're just killing it for a movie, basically. We're killing it for our own storyline.
I think that's 4.
4
is when that's their motivation. They were just making a movie. They're filming them killing the people, I guess.
But even in 4, there was a connection. So maybe, I don't know.
It was Cindy's
cousin.
Or was her cousin or it was a cousin. Yeah. Who wanted to have the same like popularity as Cindy for being the full survivor. Yeah.
I wanted them to relate it to somebody. Like, I wanted that. I think that would have closed it for me. Like, oh, that made sense, because it's like, if you think about it, they always talk about Billy being the killer, but they rarely talk about Stu. It's always about Billy. Like, the whole movie is surrounded about Billy, and I thought it was that, like, he's the killer. He's our uncle, and you guys only praise Billy. Like, it would have made a better angle.
But there was a descendant of Stu. He just didn't like do anything for the storyline.
Who was that? Who was the descendant?
The guy from the bar. Wasn't he like Stu's nephew or something?
He was related to some I don't know.
That random ass dude, the stalker dude.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know he was so random. I didn't.
It didn't do anything for the story. He just got taken out. So
because he was related to Stu, I guess.
But even the story,
randomly that he killed somebody, and you're like, oh, he's Stu's relative. I didn't know that.
Even the story of him being there was, she was just like, I didn't even catch what she said. She was just like, yeah, mama, follow me, mama, he's a stalker. And I was like, what? I didn't even catch it. I didn't catch what she said.
Something about her hooking up with him in the summer or something like that, and he was just like being stalkerish. But were they in high school or were they in college? They were at a bar.
Yeah.
Okay, so it had to be college.
Yeah.
I was like, how are these high school students in here?
Unless they got fake IDs and got in somehow. I mean, okay. I'm gonna tell you what one thing I wasn't really like too fond of is when she started having the hallucinations. I was like, what the fuck?
Yes.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, they've never done that in the Scream movie.
What do they call it? When they made him look younger? What do they call that trick?
De-aging or something, whatever
it was. It was awful.
It was unnecessary, but it was another one of those moves like, we got the money to do it, so let's do it. Kind of like, man, it's like, we got the money to do it, so let's just do it. Why do it? Why?
I mean, do it, look at it, see if it looks good, and if it does, keep it, but take that shit out if it doesn't.
It just wasn't necessary. Say Billy's my dad and leave it at that. You don't have to. He doesn't have to be there because you take it out of being a possibility now. All the screams is always like it's a possibility. These teenagers are killers, but now she's like seeing this imaginary de-age Billy who's telling her to kill, but she's not a killer. Like, it didn't make any sense.
It seems like I felt like, were they trying to do that just to like throw us off to make us think that she's the killer?
Like she's psycho.
Yeah, but I thought that was too easy. That'd be too easy if they tried to do that. I think it's to trick some people that might not think that way. They might just be like, oh, she's the killer because she's the descendant of Billy Loomis.
Right. You just don't give a shit about the story at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I don't know.
The only thing that I kind of got a tinge of excitement on was when Randy's sister showed up. That was the only time I was like, oh shit. Yeah. I didn't get that with anything else but her showing up.
Yeah.
Because it took me a minute to realize that was the twins' mom, because they walk in the house and they had the shrine for Randy.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, they're his niece and nephew. So, and then as it clicked for me, she showed up on screen. I was like, oh shit. That's the only time I did that.
She never really had a major role, right? She kind of just popped up.
No, popped up in part 3 and then popped up in 4. Also,
she was in 4?
No, that's I meant 5. She popped up in 5. Yeah. So when I looked at the cast before I saw the movie, I noticed that she was in there, and also Dwayne Martin was in there as well. He wasn't in the movie, but it said so. It said he was like in the cast.
Really?
Like, you know, when you like type in on Google and they show you the pictures of the full cast. Yeah. So it showed her and Dwayne Martin, and I'm thinking like, when I see her, I'm all like, wait, Dwayne Martin
waiting for him to show up
because they're like,
no, he's saying that's the dad.
yeah. I thought I was like, okay, so maybe Dwayne Martin's the dad. Then they look kind of mixed to you.
Oh, they was black.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hella random.
Yeah, that's hella funny.
But when we were on live, I had made a comment about a part that I didn't feel like they didn't do justice for the character. I was talking about Dewey, and that scene where he was taken out, I had no emotion towards it. I don't feel like they made it emotional enough.
Yeah,
because it wasn't. You know what it was? It was too obvious. Mm-hmm. It was way too obvious that he was going to get killed right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so actually,
it would have been different if. Okay, so you know at the end when she killed the white girl, when she was like, all right, fuck it, and just shot her in the head, and it was kind of like it's not necessarily, we know it's the end, so we know the killer's about to be exposed, but just the randomness of it. Mm-hmm. When Dewey's walking back towards the killer, we still got like 35 minutes left. He's not gonna kill the killer. The killer's gonna kill him. You know what I mean? It's like,
I had a feeling they like, once I knew when Cindy wasn't coming back, when she was not coming, I was like, all right, I had a feeling Dewey was gonna get killed, and that was gonna bring her. Like, do you remember what's it called, Bad Boys 3, where Marcus Burnett, Martin Lawrence's character, was retired and didn't want to come back?
Yeah.
And then they had to kill an important character.
Yeah.
You have to kill an important character for somebody to come out of retirement or
for them to give a shit.
Yeah. So like once I found that happen, I was like, all right, Dewey's doing, because he's the only character left that I really like. Like, Gail's cool, Cindy's cool, but Dewey's like, to me, it was Randy and Dewey. Mm-hmm. So you had to kill him off because he was like like kind of like a fan favorite.
Yeah.
To see if there's like the
Shock
stake.
factor.
Yeah. Like, oh, this movie's not just taking chances. I'm like, nope, that's the only character that people care about that got killed off in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't care about anybody else in the movie.
Yeah.
They were all new characters, and you didn't get much time with them, so you didn't care if they died.
I mean, I don't care about any of them. Period. Like I don't I don't ever have that connection. It's kind of like you can kill anybody in these movies for me. So and then Dewey's a terrible actor anyway. So for me, you could kill anybody in this movie. I have the same reaction. I just didn't like the obviousness, like when he was like, "Oh, I'm going back."
Got to shoot him in the head.
Yeah,
yeah. That was the final thing. I was like, okay, maybe he'll survive. Maybe, but then once he went back, I'm like, all right, never mind. Yeah.
Like, okay, he's done.
It would have been different had he been like getting them settled in like the elevator, and he's talking to them, and all of a sudden the killer's behind him killing him.
Right.
That would have been different.
Make it random. Make it random. Make it like unexpected.
Out of nowhere, because that whole scene you were talking about where you find out who the killer is, or one of them, because they're going back and forth like, you're the killer. And she was like, yeah, it's me. And then she shoots the girl. Like that was like hella quick.
Yeah.
And it was like hectic. Everything's going on and it happens. You're like, oh shit. So it didn't have that same feel for Dewey. So
yeah. What I was about to say. So one of the killers that was struggling, like that Dewey was struggling with.
The girl.
I'm not saying like this girl. I'm just saying like the way that her size. She was short.
Yeah.
And like I just don't think the height matched. I don't know how tall it was, but it just didn't. I didn't see her playing it.
You know what? After Aunt Becky was the killer, I kind of like just forgave that. It's like they don't give a fuck. At the end,
Becky looked like she was like tall enough to like.
But she wasn't getting with nobody. She.
I think she had a better chance than the other girl. And I kind of like had a feeling it was the boyfriend. Who the fuck? I don't know who the fuck he was. He was just her boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
This dude was confident enough to be like, all right, I'm gonna hook up with her. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. And I'm like, how the fuck did he like? I don't know how they met. It looked like a weird pairing to me.
So I guess it was the girl in the beginning, like right, you know, the beginning sequence when the girl's on the phone talking, and then I guessed it because the killer sent her a video. You know, she clicked the video and she's watching the video like it's live. I'm like, it's not a live. They sent you in a text, and then he's like, if you don't answer these questions, I'm gonna kill her. I was like, that's not a live video. That's when I was like, oh, she's the killer. I was like, she's in on it. I told Katrina right there. I was like, she's in on it. The other one I couldn't guess.
Yeah. Okay. Come to find out, that girl was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Which one?
She was the one that got burnt. The one that got burnt up and fell into the pool.
Yeah.
She got burned up in this one.
Yeah.
I was like, oh. Okay.
You know what's funny too about that? When she caught on fire, I told Katrina because they walked away. I was like, they need to shoot her in the head. Katrina's like, shut up. Yeah. And then later on, she got running.
In these movies, that's how you have to shoot them in the head. That's the only time they die. Yeah.
Doesn't matter. No matter how many times you stab them, shoot them, whatever, you got to get them in the head, even though they're human. But what else was I gonna say? But yeah, no, the girl looked familiar, and I was listening to something and they mentioned that, and I was like, that's hella funny. And they were talking about the whole meta thing, which the movie's good for doing. So it was like, they were saying they wonder if the people that did Scream did it on purpose because she got burnt up in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So they kind of put it in this movie too. But in regards to the twist, I was gonna say it's kind of like the first one, but with the first one, they did have a motive. It wasn't just, oh, we're gonna be famous and the movies do this, so we're getting this from the movies. They had a motive for why they were doing what they're doing. And this one is just, we want to be famous and we gotta reboot the what do they call them? The requels that they've been making.
Requels, yeah.
So like I get the meta thing and I get like there's a fan base and blah blah whatever. I didn't go to it for that. So I didn't care for.
Well, there's going to be people who are just like, well, toxic fandom exists and that's the reason why they do it. But they didn't, like, to me, it's like, well, the movie didn't really do a good job establishing that, like, toxic. They talk about it, but they don't really talk, like, get on the fact that people, like, fans send death threats to actors or, like, say, ruin my childhood. Like, getting in depth with that. Somebody who'd be like, what the fuck is toxic fandom? Might not know. And if you go watch this movie, you still won't know.
Right.
Yeah. I get there's people that kill people in the Ghostface killer. Like, it's as far as like getting famous, I felt like the fourth one did better motivation as trying to get famous after killing so many people.
Yeah, the fourth one she had is a fucked up reason, but she had a reason. And like I said, this one just the reason just didn't click. And they were over explaining the reason, and I'm still like, I still don't give a fuck what you're talking about.
Yeah, like I guess they're killing people, and hopefully somebody will write a book off of them and then make it into a movie. Like I guess that's what
like Gail Weathers.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm with you, Tasha. Like I liked it. I didn't walk out like, man, that was really good. Like
right. It wasn't like that. Like I said, I just thought it was a good movie. I really liked this one. The other twin is, you could have got anybody to do that. But I liked how she kind of took over her uncle's role of being like that I know everything about killers type person, or I know everything about scary movies type person.
Yeah.
I liked her portrayal of that.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, when she didn't, because I knew she didn't die, because I was like, they didn't show her die, so she's not dead.
Where the hell? I'm thinking, where the hell was she? Like, was she running away from the? I didn't know where the hell she was
hiding. I thought they were gonna also have whose mom was gone? Oh, the two main girls. I thought, because their mom was gone and she was like coming back because the youngest one had got attacked at the house. I thought they were gonna do the whole have the mom tied up like from the first one with Sydney's dad. I thought they were gonna do that.
Does she ever come back? She never came back.
I don't think she did, no.
They mentioned she was in London, and
yeah.
I don't know if she was coming back or whatever, but I thought they were gonna go that route too, kind of like touching on what they did with the first one.
How many days does this movie span?
I want to say like 3? Yeah, like
2 or 3.
Because it was funny, because it was like it'd be a scene, it'd be daytime and then nighttime. Like when they're driving to the hospital, it's daytime, but then they get there, it's nighttime. I'm like, how
hella quick.
Yeah.
How long does it take to get to where they're going?
Yeah, they did it hella times, but the reason I'm asking how many days is because wherever their mom is, your daughter almost got killed. You're not gonna be like, I'm gonna kick it a couple more days, then I go back. Wherever you are, you're gonna come home.
But the girl who ended up being the killer, remember when they were at the hospital in the beginning, when the older sister shows up, they had said something about calling the mom, and the friend had made some kind of comment like the mom really doesn't care as much about them.
She's off like drinking.
So
yeah,
there's a chance that she didn't even leave to go back home. But I just kept waiting for the mom to show up like all tied up like the dad from the first one. But then it would have been too much. Like, okay, like.
Yeah, but then again, I guess that's like part of a requel to like remake something, like blame, because they were gonna blame the murders on the father. I don't know if they would. I don't know if they'd be like, we're blaming the murders on the mother. Or just, hey, remember that in the original one? Well, she's tied up.
But I think these killers, they wanted the recognition, right? They wanted it to be known. Oh no, or were they gonna frame the older sister?
They were gonna frame Billy's daughter because they was like, that's the twist.
That's right. Yeah.
She's the what's it called? The daughter. Yeah, daughter of Billy Loomis. I think the reason why I think Stu gets overshadowed because it's Billy Loomis that was running the whole thing. Like even in part 3, the brother was all like, I gave Billy Loomis some pointers and a dipshit friend to take the fall.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It would have been more impactful if they were somehow related to him. Like, this is because his name wasn't big. Now we're gonna make his name big. If they would have did that twist, it would have came together for me. But just getting 2 random motherfuckers, and then one of them moves to Modesto to it was just like, it was too much.
Yeah.
And then when what's his name, Dewey's questioning her, he was like, how long have you known him? And she was like, 6 months. I was like, what are you talking about, this love shit? You just willing to risk your life? 6 months? What are you talking about?
It'd be that way. But okay, so Billy knocked some girl up either before or during the time that he was with Sydney.
Yeah.
I mean, he was talking to some girls at the video store in the first one. Maybe it was one of them. Because Sydney wasn't giving it up to him, and he said, "Fuck it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he didn't. Okay, because he made it seem like he wasn't a virgin. He just wanted Sydney. Like his whole plan was just to get her, because remember she was like, "Fuck you," and he was like, "Been there, done that."
Mm-hmm.
So it's like
we already played that
out for vengeance,
right.
So maybe he was just fucking everybody. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Did you notice? So the guy, the blonde, the one that was in the show. Oh, the one whose mom got killed in broad daylight in front of the house.
Oh my God. That shit bothered me. I'm like, nobody on this street sees this.
Nobody sees this.
Nobody here?
Yeah. Anything screaming? No.
Oh my God.
But did you peep that his name was Wes? And at the party that they had at Stu's house, it had a sign that said "For Wes." And then at the end of the movie, it said "For Wes," for Wes Craven.
I didn't notice the thing at the party.
Like a banner. It's like a banner that said "For Wes." And it didn't dawn on me until the end when it said "For Wes" for Wes Craven. I was like, oh, the banner had "For Wes" too. So kind of a weird way to tribute the person.
I mean, because I didn't put it together. Because remember, even when Twin took a shot, he was like, "Yeah, we're gonna miss you, Wes." I get it now.
Yeah.
Well, I was like,
his name was Wes, and then I guess the main girl's last name was Carpenter, as in John, homage to John Carpenter. And they do that sometimes in movies where they put the first name or last name of like a horror like icon or person who directs it. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, that's cool. But I didn't notice the sign. Yeah, it was just Wes and what's her name, Carpenter. That's the only thing.
But okay, did they say this in the movie? How did the party get thrown at Stu's house?
That because the girl's family bought the house.
Which girl? The girl who?
The girl killer. She was like, "Oh, when my family bought this house, I was so excited."
Okay. I missed that part.
How did you feel about that twist? Like you're in the house and they show you like.
I didn't care.
I was kind of like, okay.
It was at that point I just didn't care, so it didn't do anything for me.
But okay, so the thing is, we already knew it was the house, so it wasn't like it's shocking to us. I guess that's for somebody who hadn't seen the movie in hella long, like, oh shit, they are in the house,
or somebody that wasn't paying attention.
Yeah,
like me, and I'm like, oh, okay.
But Tasha, bringing up that the mom got killed in broad daylight, it also pissed me off that the sister was in that fucking hospital floor with nobody on it.
Yeah, just that one cop. Just that one. They took all the other cops. They went where? I forgot where they went, but
they went to that scene of the crime with the killer.
Oh, yeah.
With that non-acting
where the cop got killed.
Guard.
Yeah,
he was looking like they called us all in. Like, shut the fuck. But that scene is where I figured out that he was the killer, because he was there. It was dark. He busted in like, oh, I got the call and I came to see you. He wasn't like, why is it so dark? He wasn't like none of that. He was just like, I got the call, and then the killer slices his arm and he drops, and then the killer just moves on. I was like, the killer don't just move on.
I mean, it's kind of what happens in part 2, and it makes you think it's the boyfriend.
Where? What part?
Remember the part where they were at the fraternity or the sorority party? And then the boyfriend shows up and he goes to chase the killer, and the killer cuts him on his arm.
Yeah, but that was, but that was, so they're not gonna do that again.
They did that with the boyfriend at the hospital, and they cut his arm.
No, I'm saying why I made it obvious to me, because it's like, you're not gonna do that twice. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't put it past them.
2 times.
Yeah, I think that's the reason why they did it. Like, we're gonna trick people into thinking, that whole reverse psychology shit. Because I was like, they're not gonna do it again. And as time went on, I was like, yeah, he's the only killer I can think of. Because he's always like, where were you? I was in Netflix, watching Netflix.
It was still hilarious watching that, when he was watching that stab and he had the 2 knives. The fucking Ghostface, he was like, it was like stab 7. He had 2 knives. He was like a ninja. That shit was hilarious.
Was like, all these other weapons besides a knife.
Yeah. That shit was fucking hilarious.
But we did talk about a little bit how gory the death scenes were. Like I said, I had to look away on some of them. Some of them were cringeworthy for me. But
they put a lot of extras in it this time. It wasn't just like kill them. It was like, we gonna make you freak out by how we killing them.
We gonna stab you in the cheek and then show it going through slowly. Yeah, this is one most graphic, like Scream movies, I'll say.
They pissed me off with that door unlocking thing, though.
It was a little too much.
That was a little much. It was like unlock, lock, unlock.
But wow. They didn't do the car unlocking scene, so they did the house.
Yeah, they did the house. Let's do something different.
Every time you guys say that, I think about when Anthony Anderson got killed and how much it pissed me off.
That scene was so dumb.
Because he was like, "Fuck you, Bruce Willis." I was like,
really? Just die. You got stabbed in the face. How are you?
Well, when he got stabbed, he said, "Oh."
Yeah.
He got stabbed in the face, like, "Oh."
He got stabbed in the face, made that noise, and swinging, and then says, "Fuck you, Bruce Willis," and then dies.
I dislike that scene.
Yeah, that seemed like a scene from Scary Movie or parody.
Right. That was some bullshit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so overall, I just didn't care for it. And like the whole, I think they overdid it with the talking about movies, like comparing, the movies and the rules of the movies. I just felt like it was overdone. And I don't know if they did the same thing in the first one, and maybe I just like the first one so much that it didn't bother me, or if they legit did extra on this one.
What it was the one guy, Jamie Kennedy. He was the movie guy, and that's all you needed. Like he was all you needed. And here it seemed like everybody was. Well, not I don't say everybody. It seemed like there was a lot more concern about movies in this one that than needed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I don't think it was necessary.
No, because it made sense why Randy would talk a lot because he's the movie guy, and then they brought his niece in here. I think like they did kind of overdo it a lot with the meta.
Yeah, like, and then you got the legacy characters talking about it too. It's just like, all right, shoot your head.
Yeah.
It was overkill.
It was.
And then what happened? Then wasn't there a part where like she like slid Sydney the gun, was like, "This is your kill," or something? Is that what happened at the end in the kitchen?
Oh, when she tosses it to Gail or whatever, like
to kill the girl because the girl killed Dewey.
Yeah, I was like, just
kill the damn girl.
Yeah, just kill
yeah.
And then when they get to the house and the girl's like, putting on a show like she's been stabbed, and they're like, is this an act or is this like real? Like that whole thing. And then she's like, fuck it. And then they start shooting at each other, or she shoots Gail in the stomach.
Shot her in the stomach.
Like, you're going into something that there's a killer. You're just standing there all willy-nilly like, oh, open season. Like, shoot me.
Did you guys think it was the sister, since they kind of try to make you think it was?
For a split second, I was like, ooh, is that where they're gonna go? But
when she said, I forgot, I can't find my inhaler, I'm like, oh.
Okay, when she said that, I was like, okay, let's do it again, because I'm like, he's the only one that was with her. She said, I don't know my inhaler is. I was like, oh, he's setting this up. I never took my eyes off that girl though. I was like, she's definitely one of them, but I just know who the other one was. And then, like I said, that fucking dark ass room alone, that's what let me know it was the dude. And then after that, I was just like, I'm just gonna keep finding clues for it to be him.
I almost wish they would have had a third killer, because it's always two.
That would have been cool.
Yeah, it's always two.
It was one with the brother.
Oh yeah, part 3 there was one.
Yeah.
So it would have been.
And every other else has been two. Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been interesting if it was three killers.
Yeah, it would have been interesting if it was. So if they make another one, she has to be in it.
Like they cannot. They need to leave it alone.
They're going to.
Yeah, I have a feeling they would.
I'm sorry to say it's gonna.
Yeah, it's successful at the box office.
I was going to ask you that, Josh. Did it gross a lot?
I haven't seen it. I haven't even read any or like watched any videos of reviews of Scream. So I haven't really been seeing anything, but I'm definitely gonna look it up. But yeah, I mean, I think the score on like Rotten Tomatoes or IMDb gave it like a high rating. So it seems like some people are loving it.
Rotten Tomatoes, they got 76%, and then IMDb they got 7.3 out of 10. So they're going to make another one.
Yeah.
My advice, they don't give a fuck about what I think. My advice, make another one. Don't bring back the legacy character. Leave them out of this now. They're done. Like if you want them to call, if you want them to call Sydney like, hey, this, and she like good luck, and then let that be it. But don't bring their old asses back.
I wouldn't even say that. I would say maybe reference them in certain things, like their names can come up, but don't have them show up. Because I mean, if you think about it, it could be another set of killers because there's no connection at this point. It's just whoever has some kind of, goal that they're trying to make. It could be anybody at this point. So
fresh.
Sydney can be like long gone with her family. Gail's like Dewey's gone. So it's like, whatever. They don't have to come back. But
Sydney's husband ain't shit. Sydney's husband is like Paul Walker in the last Fast and Furious. It's like you just let your wife go do all of this shit. You don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? That's what bothers me about Fast and Furious, because she showed up and he's like, "Where's the kids?" Oh, they're with Paul. He was the cop. You're just the woman.
That's how badass them females are. They don't need no man.
Nah, fuck that. He was a cop. If my wife was Sydney, you're not going out there. What are you talking? We have kids. Sit your stupid ass down. What do you mean you're going? Give a fuck about Dewey?
Go while you're
nobody. Dewey was dead anyway.
Yeah.
Dewey
survived. I'm like, Dewey survived 1 and 2, where he's got stabbed hella times. And in this one, it's just
he sent that text. He said, "Hey, the killer is back. Don't come back here."
Yeah, I think a lot of it had to do with the writing. And I mean, the acting wasn't great either. Like that main girl, she got on my nerves.
Oh, from In the Heights?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She was extra.
She had a lot of tension.
I think if you're gonna make another one, you're gonna have no choice but to bring Neve Campbell and what's her called?
Brittany Cox.
Cox back. Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so did you answer what Kenny asked today about like Ghostface being a boogeyman or a costume?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's just a costume. You know what I mean?
So like anybody can put it on.
I put a boogeyman. Just because it's the reaction of seeing the mask.
But anybody could be behind that mask. Yeah. Freddy Krueger's one boogeyman.
Michael Myers was just Steven Seagal, so you can't tell me anything else. Michael Myers used to be a regular white guy, now he knows karate. So anybody can be behind that mask.
No, it's still
Michael Myers is Michael Myers. Character. Jason Voorhees is Jason Voorhees. Freddy Krueger's Freddy Krueger. Ghostface, anybody. Billy and
because they thought Michael Myers was the crazy guy they were chasing that they tried to kill too.
No,
could have been anybody.
You can't win this conversation.
Ghostface is not a boogeyman.
He's not.
He's a costume.
The guy from
I could be Ghostface killer.
Yeah, the guy from I Know What You Did Last Summer is more of a boogeyman than Ghostface because it's the same guy.
That was a real dude.
Then
that was Gordon Fisherman. He makes fish sticks.
So you're the small percentage that said boogeyman.
Yeah, because
I think you're like it was like 11%.
Yeah, and probably some bullshit like that. But I don't know. I get it. Anybody can be behind the mask, but if you see that mask, it's still a boogeyman. That mask is going to scare people in general, like regardless. Yes, anybody can be it. I get that, but
I'm saying like as far as like making sequels that get people there, if it's a sequel, that's why they brought Jamie Lee Curtis back for the new Halloween movies. I don't think she's me. Like I thought it would have been cool. I did like the fact that they other movies they went a different direction because she didn't want to return, and like Halloween 4.
Mm-hmm.
But when she came back, H2 I thought was cool, and then she came back another time where I'm like, all right, this is just nostalgia. There's nothing original about it. So that's why I'm thinking like you either need like somebody like Freddy Krueger or what's it called, Hellraiser, like somebody playing the same character in every single movie, or like a character like what's called Sidney Prescott. But a new movie where some random kids and Ghostface.
That might be what this one was, though.
Was that again?
That might be what this one was, like bringing the legacy characters to start off something new. So like the next one wouldn't need them because this one had them, and they weren't in it for that long. So that could have been like
yeah, I mean, but as far as like the new characters, and then like I get what you're saying, like I think they did a job like passing the torch. But as far as like we said, the new characters, I really don't give a shit what happens to them in this one or what happens in the next one. I mean, if they did do that one where they didn't bring back Courtney Cox or Neve Campbell, whoever it is that survived the Scream franchise, I'd kind of be interested.
It'll be a spinoff of the twins, like Lamar wants with the
I do.
Yeah, I mean that wouldn't be enough for me to want to see another one. Like after this one, I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm done. I'm done after Halloween Kills.
I'm telling you right now that the franchise has a lock to where when it comes out, we're going to watch it.
Only if it comes out, if we're still doing these movies, only time I'll watch it.
No, if it comes out in 2 months, we're not gonna want to fuck with it. But if they come out in 2 years, we're gonna be like, yeah.
I think if the legacy characters are in it, I won't watch it. Because the Halloween, the 2018 one, brought me in because Jamie Lee Curtis was back in it, and it was like a sequel to the first two or whatever. So that's what brought me back to it. After that one, I was like, I don't need to watch anymore because I didn't like it.
Yeah.
So that's what this one's gonna do. I'm not gonna watch it if they're not part of it.
I don't know, man. I can't predict the future, but
I'm predicting it because I know myself.
Years,
I ain't gonna watch it.
If
Leo's in it, I'll watch it.
If who?
If Leo's in it, I'll watch it.
I'm burned out on Scream, Halloween, all these sequels.
And if they make another Halloween, new. If they make
they're gonna make a Halloween Ends, and I don't give a shit about watching that. Like I don't care. I don't care about that. It should end
the final Halloween ever in life. Still not gonna watch
it. Okay. So by that logic, right? So by the logic of the Scream mask now being the boogeyman. So if Michael Myers somehow passes the torch, like remember that kid that was watching him? If he somehow passes that mask to that kid and that kid becomes a killer, is Michael Myers still a boogeyman?
Yeah, because he's Michael Myers. The kid would be his name.
Michael Myers. So as long as that
kid would be him.
No, the kid would be Michael Myers.
No, because Michael Myers is Michael Myers.
Oh, you're talking about by the name. Okay, when I say Michael Myers, I'm not talking about the name. I'm saying that kid takes the mask and the persona, and now he's the killer.
Whatever his name is, that's what the boogeyman's name is.
It is, yeah.
But it's still the same mask.
It's not just the mask; it's the characters. Like I said, Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger. In every Scream movie, it's a different person. Billy Loomis is on the boogeyman. It's a human, behind the mask.
I thought we were talking about the mask. I didn't think we were talking about the actual person.
The boogeyman.
Yeah.
Person, yeah.
Yes, the mask.
No, the person.
Person, yeah.
We're saying Ghostface is a mask, therefore it's not a boogeyman.
But Ghostface is the boogeyman. It's Ghostface.
No, it's just a costume.
It's just a costume. Michael Myers' mask is just a costume.
But it's Michael Myers.
It's Michael Myers who's come back for all like several sequels.
So are you guys going? You guys are going off the name, not the costume.
Well, that's what the boogeyman.
The boogeyman is that person.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, not a costume, not just a costume. It's everything.
So if I put on Michael Myers' face, so Lamar would be a boogeyman. If I put on
if you survive more than 2 movies, yes.
So now you're adding to it. No. So I'm asking if I put
Lamar had that mask on, Lamar is a boogeyman.
Then I'm a boogeyman. I get
Lamar is a boogeyman.
Lamar is the boogeyman with the mask.
You're not Michael Myers. You're Lamar.
I get.
So wait, what about man? That's a good question right here.
Okay, that's more than y'all keep saying this name, and our number one fan, you said it earlier, Lamar. Our number one fan is going to stop watching us. So I'm going to bleep out. I just said it the 4th time.
Just said it.
So Tony Todd was a boogeyman. He played a boogeyman in that movie. So does that mean Tony Todd's character is a or is there everybody else? Doesn't matter. That's
what I'm saying.
But I still say he is because
you're talking about from the new one, the new movie that came out.
But the other guy becomes he becomes that.
Yeah. So that one, that's an outlier because, and I can't speak to it because I didn't like that movie. So
no, we're not talking about how good the movie is. We're talking about the person.
But I'm saying because I didn't like that movie, it doesn't factor into my logic.
Yeah,
so
I can't speak to Yeah,
you can't judge it off quality.
Exist.
Okay, so boogeyman, because so you know who calls people boogeyman are little kids who are scared of boogeyman.
Adults are scared of boogeyman too.
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying we wouldn't see somebody in the screen mask and be like, it's a boogeyman. We'd be like, who the fuck got that mask on? But a little kid's gonna look and be like, that's the boogeyman. Right?
If they're scared, everybody they're scared of is gonna be the boogeyman. If you're talking about kids, right?
No. If I take the mask, if I'm got that on, I'm the boogeyman. I take that mask on. It's Uncle Mar trying to kill me.
That's the thing. Then you're not a true boogeyman.
Yeah,
but Michael Myers put his mask on. He's the boogeyman.
But
you take Michael Myers' mask off, he's still the boogeyman. Same with Jason.
No, Michael Myers, he didn't look that bad without the mask in this one.
Still the boogeyman because he's scary. This is, it's what he could do. Scares you. He doesn't need that mask to kill people. That's
yeah. He's just self-conscious about his looks, so he wears a mask.
Yeah. I guess from that perspective, you could call Ghostface a boogeyman, but it's just anybody. It's always been a different.
No, so I get what you guys are saying. You guys are talking about the person himself. So when I saw his question and he said, "Is this considered a boogeyman?" I'm like, yes, because I'm looking at the costume.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yes, that is a boogeyman. So I wasn't thinking that deep. Even when I say Michael Myers, I'm not thinking this is a motherfucker named Michael Myers. I'm thinking the costume is Michael Myers. Like when we go to the costume shop, we look at that costume. The funny thing is, it doesn't even say Michael Myers on it. It says Halloween costume, right?
Oh, I don't know.
The mask. The mask does.
They call it Michael Myers.
The costume is called Michael Myers, but the mask, it's a Halloween brand. So is that what you're talking? Which one are you talking about? The mask or the full costume?
So I'm saying
the William Shatner face.
When you go when you go to the costume store to buy that costume, is it called Michael Myers or is it called Halloween?
I've never paid attention. I don't know.
Now you're saying the costume. Now the reason why I'm saying this because you could buy the mask and you could buy the costume, which is separate. Which one are you getting at, Lamar? Like you're talking about.
If you were just buying the mask, what would it be called?
Halloween.
If you were buying the costume, what would it be called?
Michael Myers.
Because of the jumpsuit.
Yeah. And the knife that comes with it.
And then if you buy a hockey mask, it's called Jason, or is it called the Friday the 13th hockey mask?
Friday the 13th.
What I'm saying is by you guys' logic,
mask, it's called
what I'm saying is by you guys' logic, the name is the person. But what I'm saying is when you buy that costume, the name is they call the costume by that person's name. Therefore, that is the boogeyman, right? The costume is the boogeyman.
But the costume, I mean, that's just what they're wearing. Yeah, but it's a singular person.
But it's, I don't know. We're going to it. We're going
now. If the Ghostface, it says Ghostface. Now, if it said Billy Loomis's Ghostface, maybe that could be considered a boogeyman.
But it's called a Scream mask now. It's not even called Ghostface.
And it existed before Scream came out, right? Wasn't it already a costume?
It was a costume before Scream.
It was? I thought it was. I thought they made that. I thought they made the mask for the movie. And then
you might know more than me, so I don't want to keep talking like I know some shit. But I thought the costume existed before the movie.
No, I think it was for the movie. I mean, we can look it up, but I thought it was for because I didn't notice it before Scream came out.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, so I don't know, but I think that was the point. Like, whoever made the first one, like, saw the costume and was just like, we need a costume. You know what I mean? It was just some bullshit. Like, we need a costume. And
so I googled it, and it was in existence before the movie.
It was around, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying. So I don't know, but I thought I heard somebody was writing the movie, and like you said, they loved like the Michael Myers and all of that shit, so they needed their own. So they just found that, like, oh shit, we can use this.
Mm-hmm. But also in the movie, they say like you can find this at any costume store. So it wasn't something that was just like. But with Michael Myers, his mask, where did he find that? Like in the story? Was that just a mask that he just found randomly, or was it from a store? Or
it was just I remember when what's it called? The sheriff came out and started talking. You remember what's it called? The daughter's father. The sheriff saying, "Yeah, somebody broke in, took a couple knives, mask." So I thought it was just like a generic mask.
He just grabbed any mask.
Yeah, because in real life they got a William Shatner mask, and they just what's it called? Painted in white or whatever. But with the Scream mask, it's kind of like in real life, whoever made that, I guess they had to buy the rights to it or whatever, like
to use it.
Like would that be like royalties where like every time we use this mask?
Hell yeah.
Movie,
whoever made that mask is baller right now. And they made that mask bullshit.
So I guess there is an argument to be had. Like, I guess on some level you could say Ghostface is a boogeyman, but if you compare the Ghostface killers to a Freddy and all of them, what separates them?
That it's the actual person. There's an actual story behind the person in the mask.
Right.
So that is the separation. But like I said, when I saw him post that, I was just thinking the costume itself. I'm like, yeah, that's a.
And they're fantastical. They're not human. Where the people wearing the Ghostface costume,
that's a whole different conversation. Freddy wasn't human from the beginning, but the rest of them.
So I feel like a boogeyman is along the lines of like a ghost, where they're like, phantasms or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, I always thought like there's some like supernatural element to them, not human.
You have that part of it too.
Yeah, but also like the costume, that means everybody is a boogeyman. If we were to go by the costume, I mean,
especially on Halloween,
vampire, like Dracula's a boogeyman, Frankenstein's monster, Invisible Man,
Yeah.
So.
But I'm just I guess they are horror characters too. But I love how we got into this whole conversation about this and didn't close out Scream.
Well, we're still talking about Scream though. That was all. That was. Well,
I mean, I think this is a cool conversation because I've heard this before. Like, I mean, we'll talk to Kenny and Nikki about this. Of like, is Ghostface? Because it's a very like the mask is very iconic,
right?
It's been out for a long time, but I think that's the only time for 5 movies there's been like what's it called, 8 different killers or 7? Yeah, 7 different killers in this franchise. Where everything else, they have the same guy come back, or they try to do like Urban Legends, Final Cut, different killers, and it doesn't work out.
I didn't watch that one.
And I did, and I never went back to watch it.
I like the first one, never watched the second one.
Yeah. What's called? Okay, so should we close this out because on screen? Because I wanted to go through Saw and ask a question.
I just wanted to know, like, you guys haven't seen any documentaries or anything about how Scream was made?
A while ago, like a couple years ago, but I don't remember them.
Because I want to know if it was like an accidental hit. Because this came out at a time where they were doing all of these type of teenage scary movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I mean they've always been around, but
But I'm saying it like in this time frame because they had I Know What You Did Last Summer. It seemed like at that time they did a bunch of different ones with just the teenagers going through shit, and this one just stuck.
So
I think this was the first one too.
Yeah, I read somewhere like or watched a video where they're saying like the horror, like the slasher genre was kind of dying down because they still were doing sequels of Friday the 13th, Halloween, Chucky,
Leprechaun.
And that's a big man. So I think they knew they had something good on their hands, but I didn't know if they probably didn't expect it to be this great to where a lot of knockoffs, like I know still last some Urban Legends came right after, and in 25 years or how many years later, I think 25, 26, they would make a 5th movie with it. Because after that, I think it was the first movie that what's it called? First slasher movie that acknowledged that horror movies exist in the real world.
Right.
Because they talked about like Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, where no other horror movie has done that.
Yeah.
Right. Everything else is like living inside of their world.
Right. Yeah. And what's called Wes Craven. Me and Sam were talking about this, where it kind of started off with New Nightmare. Did you ever like see that one where it's like they're playing themselves in real life? And then Freddy comes. Yeah. So everybody thought like that was like the little like seed, the plan, until he made Scream, which they call it meta, which I'm guessing that means it's like a metaphor to the real world. I don't know how to say it exactly, but yeah.
They need to do the movies that made us for Scream.
Oh, it's probably coming, but they're gonna want some money for that shit. They're not gonna put it on Netflix.
You could probably just go on YouTube. There's so many like documentaries on YouTube.
I like how they do the movies that made us though. I like how they show you everything about what went into it and the struggles that they had. I like all of that.
Because they had Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, and
Halloween. Yeah, they had a lot of movies on there. So we'll see. That would work for me, showing me how everything was done. But so I think we gave our ratings on live, but we can do it on here too for Scream. Our star rating. So I gave it a 2.
God damn.
Yeah, I gave it 2.5 out of 5.
I gave it a 3.
I actually like while we were talking about it, that's what bumped it below Scream 2, which to me, I
don't understand that. Scream 2 is so.
I thought it was just better. I thought it was like better structure than 5, even though like there's some things I don't like about Scream 2. I think after Randy gets spoiler alert, after Randy gets killed off.
I'll say that because Tasha, you didn't like how Dewey died. I didn't like how Randy died. I didn't like how he got killed off.
The fact that he was killed, or just that whole scene.
I didn't like the fact that he was killed, but I could live with that. I'm just saying the way he died. It was like because he was smarter. He was like the smartest one there. And for the way they did it, and then they put that bullshit boombox walking by. Who the fuck is still carrying a boombox?
That was the 90s, wasn't it?
Who the fuck was still carrying a boombox?
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, when did the Scream supposed to take place in the 90s? They don't really say when it take place.
I think it was the time that it was. Yeah.
The first one was 99, right?
No, I thought it was like 96.
It wasn't 96.
It was 25 years ago.
I can't do the math that fast, but
first one's 96, second one's 97. So
it was that close together?
Yeah. They came out a year later because the writer had some ideas for a sequel.
96, 97, 2000, and then 2011, and then 2022. So.
But who was still carrying a fucking boombox?
Wherever town they were in, they were.
He's just bringing it back.
That whole scene was dumb. Like it was a coincidence that as he's getting killed, it's loud. Like loud music is being played by people walking by, so nobody can hear him screaming.
Middle of the day, there's a bunch of people there, and then all of a sudden, once he gets closer to the van, they all seem to vanish.
Yeah.
And they all know he's on the phone with the killer, but nobody's paying attention to him.
Yeah. And they're stupid enough to think that the killer is out in the open talking to him and trying to check every other phone. I'm all like, really?
But no, 2 is ranked low on my list, but it's not as low as this one.
Yeah.
Because the Billy Loomis mom thing didn't bother me as much as it bothers you.
That didn't bother me either. I guess they're trying to take it back to the Pamela Voorhees thing, but yeah.
And then I like what's his name, the other killer, Timothy Oliphant. I like him too.
Yeah, I like him too. Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll say her motivations. I'll take her motivation over like the motivation in the Scream 5 movie.
I would have took her motivation if Billy didn't say she left me because of your mom.
She could still love her son and be mad at the person that killed him.
Yeah.
Well, they go kill the person that killed him.
Well, she was trying. Yeah, bro. Yeah. Instead of blaming herself for abandoning her son, who's got a lot of mental issues, she's gonna take it out. It's a lot easier to take it out on the person that killed your son.
Yeah. So, you can't turn it inwards and blame yourself. You got to blame other people. So.
But you know what I noticed after watching Scream 2?
Professional fucking killer.
I found out like when it comes to like Scream 2 or Child's Play, when there's the setting is like at a school or something away from other things, I don't really care for that. Like I think the high school, the college was a weak setting to where I think I would like about 1 and 4 they're at Woodsboro, and in 3 they're in Hollywood. So that was like kind of a new thing. But the whole school, where the fuck are they supposed to be at? That's the thing. Like, in the beginning, when Jada Pinkett's getting some like popcorn and soda, there's these 2 girls like, I don't want to go back there. It's based on a true story. People get killed in California. So I'm guessing Woodsboro was in California.
It had
so where the fuck are they?
Because the girl was the girl was in Modesto, and then she drove. Yeah. What was it, a 6-hour drive? So it's Southern California somewhere.
In part 2?
No, in the 5th
Woodsboro. Woodsboro's in California.
Yeah, Woodsboro's in California. Yeah. But like when they're at
the college, theater, I don't know where the college.
Yeah, like when I'm guessing they're at the same. They're close by. When she's all people get killed in California. I'm all like, if you're gonna say people get killed in California, you can't be saying that
California.
In California. Yeah, people got killed in California. Fuck, we in California.
Oh, you know what? I did. Yeah, they did say that stupid shit.
Yeah.
I just thought about it because I thought about it when she said it. She was like, "Yeah, this is based on a movie. Or this is based on what happened to those kids in California." But and then later on, they're like, "Yeah, they were college kids here. They got killed."
Yeah. And Jada Pinkett has the same first name as Cindy's mother.
Yeah.
And then Omar Epps' character has the same last name.
Her boyfriend.
Steven. The boyfriend that got killed.
They just happen to be dating.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
And then it didn't even seem like they were together, but then it seemed like they were together. It seemed like a first date, but then it seemed like they were together. Because she was like, I need popcorn. He had an attitude for giving her money, like, fuck, you got your own money. So it's like, what the fuck? What is going on?
It seemed like they've been dating for a while, and they kind of just like whatever.
If you watch it again, it seemed like it was a first date. Like the way they were talking, it seemed like it was a first date. And then he says that corny ass line that black dudes don't say. She was like, he was all excited. He was like, I don't know, but I got a stiffy.
If that's the first, that would be the first and last date. Yeah. If you acting like that, getting too comfortable.
She'd be like, I need money for popcorn, and then just take off, just leave the theater.
Yeah. And she's all, I got my money. I want to spend your money. Like, fuck that. You just going out.
I don't know.
Yeah. So okay. So that was Scream 2022.